Hello friends, welcome to Apex Cat Coaching YouTube channel. I'm Suraj Chawla and I'm your quant trainer. So I did my MBA in the year 2009-11 from Xavier Institute of Management, Bhubaneswar. Then I went on to work with ICICI Bank. I worked for close to 18 months and I also handled a portfolio of 400 crores. And it's been since 2012, I have been actively involved in training and mentoring students in the areas of CAT, GRE, GMAT, IPMAT and other competitive examinations. And in all the last 12 years of mentoring students, I've also made it a point that I have been writing CAT every year and have been consistently scoring 99 plus percentile in the areas of quant and logical reasoning and DI for all my last 11 consecutive attempts. Right, so in this series, I'll be bringing you the must solve questions in different topics of quantitative ability. So what we'll be doing is, we'll also be revising certain concepts of the chapter and along with that, we'll see how to solve these questions. Right, so today we are looking at a chapter called percentages. A very simple chapter, yet we can expect a few questions coming up from this chapter, be it directly or indirectly. So we should know the concepts of percentages. Now before I proceed, let me just give you a summary. What are the important concepts that you should remember? The first concept that you should be knowing in this chapter is going to be how to convert percentage to fraction and fraction to percentage. This is a very important point that we all need to know from 1 by 1 till 11 by 11, right? Now the second important point we need to understand is how to calculate percentage. And we know percentage is calculated as the numerator by denominator multiplied by 100. The numerator is the area that we are interested in and the denominator is the area in comparison. So we should know that how to basically calculate the percentage, right? Now the third point that we need to understand in this chapter is going to be a percentage change formula. Now percentage change formula is going to be final value minus initial value by initial value into 100. We should know percentage change and how to apply percentage change. We'll look at them in these questions, do not worry. Now the fourth important point that we also need to understand is the concept of multiplying factor. So when do I use and how do I use and what is multiplying factor? So let's start with what is multiplying factor. So multiplying factor is going to be 100 plus x percentage by 100 or minus x percentage by 100. And if I'm using a fraction, it is 1 plus or minus the fraction. Clear? So this happens to be my multiplying factor. When do I use? Whenever percentage increase or percentage decrease is given, we apply multiplying factor. And how do I use? It's always initial value into multiplying factor is equal to the final value. The fifth concept that we need to remember here is the concept of successive percentage change. And successive percentage change, if you remember the formula, we can apply the formula called a plus b plus ab by 100. And the last concept that we need to remember is going to be percentage points. Now percentage points we should understand is nothing but the difference between the percentages. For example, if I scored a 75% in my 10th class and you scored 80% in your 10th class, so the difference between us can be termed as 5 percentage points. Right, so these are the basic values that we need to remember. Apart from that, there are also multiple models. So what I'll be doing is, along with solving the questions in this class, I'll also be taking you through all the different models and revising the models and also show you how to apply them. Right, so I repeat, before you solve the question, I would advise you to pause the question, solve on your own, and then make sure that you're watching the right way of solving, because in CAT, you need to make sure that you're picking the right method which helps you to get an accurate answer in the least possible time. Clear? So before we get started, I would request you to subscribe to our channel, like this video and also share this video amongst your friends who are preparing for CAT so that they can also make the most of these questions. So let's get started with our first question here, guys. So if I look at my first question, the first question says P spends 40% of his monthly income on groceries, 25% of the remaining. The minute I see this model is the remaining model, which means the base value is changing. Now what is the base value? The base value is the value on which percentage is calculated. For example, if I talk about 40%, 40% is calculated on his income. So here the base value becomes income. Clear? So this is the amount that he's spending on groceries. Now, if I talk about the amount spending on house rent, the amount spent on house rent is 25% of remaining. So you need to understand here the base value is not income anymore. The base value is remaining value. And this is why this model comes under the model of base changes, right? So whenever base changes, we need to also keep on calculating accordingly, right? So we'll look at that, how to solve it. Now 10% of the rest, again the base is changing. Let's say this is remaining 1. So this 10% is not on remaining 1. This 10% will be on remaining 2. Right? So after spending on house rent, whatever is the remaining amount, on that this 10% is calculated and then invest the remaining money in stocks. Right? And then the question is given as the amount invested in stocks is 15264 more than the educational expenses. So this is the most important sentence which talks about the equation statement, right? How much money is spent on house rent? So the question statement is very easy. Now, whenever the base values are changing, the best way to attack these questions is to assume the initial base value as 100x. The base value keeps on changing. We keep on calculating our percentages and we get our values. Right? That's a standard approach, guys. Always try to assume the base value as 100x. Whenever the base value changes, it will make sure you get the answer in the easiest possible manner. Right? So let's start with the concept called let his income be 100x. Right? Now 40% of his income is spent on groceries. So the amount of money spent on groceries is 40% of 100x. Now we should know that 40% of 100x is going to be nothing but 40x, right? So therefore, the amount spent on groceries is 40x. So I need to calculate the remaining value. So the remaining value here is going to be 100 minus 40, which will become 60x. Now mind you, the next base value is 60x. Clear? So now on house rent, he's spending 25% of this value, that is 60x. Now we should know that 25% fraction conversion is 1 by 4, right? So therefore, we calculate 1 by 4 of 60. Now it's very easy, right? 60 by 4. What is 60 by 4? 60 by 4 is going to be 15x. So he spent for 15x on house rent, right? So after deduction, the remaining value is going to be 45x. Clear, guys? Now he spends 10% of the rest, that means 10% of 45x on educational expenses. So educational expenses is 10% of 45x. Now please remember, 10% is nothing but 1 by 10. Right? So what is 1 by 10 of 45x? 1 by 10 of 45x is going to be 4.5x. So let us quickly calculate. This value is 4.5x. And finally the rest amount, that is 40.5x, he invests. So this is the money that he is investing in the stocks. Once we have this, it becomes very easy for us to calculate, because now I have to just plug in values from here, apply to whatever is given in the question and calculate. Now we read the question statement again. The amount invested in stocks is 15264 more than educational expenses. Whenever I see the word called more, less or difference, we use the concept called subtraction. Subtraction of larger value minus smaller value. Right? So what is larger value? Obviously the amount invested in stocks. What is smaller value? The amount invested for educational expenses. So the difference between these two is equal to 15264. So let's quickly write this. So we have 40.5x minus 4.5x is equal to 15264, or we get 36x. Okay? 36x is equal to 15264. Clear, guys? Now we have the value of 36x. Now I always advise to my students, do not calculate unless and until it is your last step. Is this my last step? No. The question has asked us to calculate something else. What has the question asked us to calculate? The question has asked us to calculate how much did he spend on house rent. So how much is the money spent on house rent? 15x. So we are not supposed to calculate the value of x. We are supposed to calculate the value of 15x. So let us do this. So if 36x is equal to this, then 15x is equal to what? Let me assume 15x is equal to k. And the best way to solve them is just divide both of them. X gets cancelled. We can go by 3. 3 12s are, and this is 3 5s are. 12 ones are 12, then we have a 32, 12 twos are 24, we have an 86, 12 sevens are 84, we have a 24, 12 twos are 24. So what is the value of k, or what is the value of what is asked in the question? The value of k is equal to 1272 into 5. Clear? So if I calculate this, 5 twos are 10, 35 plus 1 is 36, I carry 3. 10 plus 3 is 13, I carry 1, and this is 6360 is the value of k, and therefore the answer here becomes option D. Clear, guys? So you need to understand that if I solve questions on these lines, it becomes very easy for us to calculate. So हमेशा याद रखना that whenever the base is changing, right? जब भी base change हो रहा है, तो easiest method is आप 100x assume कर लो and then keep on calculating your values. आपका values आते जाएगा, आपके नए base भी आते जाएंगे. Keep on calculating percentage. उसके बाद हमारा simple सा काम होता है कि हम question statement को देखेंगे and question statement को देख के उसके हिसाब से हम solve करेंगे. Clear, guys? So this is a very important model of percentages. The base value is changing, right? Let's look at the next question. अब यहाँ पे it's a very interesting question, बहुत ही प्यारा question है यार. I want you to pause this video, solve it on your own, and then come back and solve this. It's a very beautiful question, right? Let's look at this question. Now, this question says, Akhil bets 10,000 rupees on India-England match such that he bets some amount on each of the teams. मतलब दोनों का मिला के 10,000 रुपया. Not 10,000 each, okay? 10,000 on India-England match. And he invests some amount on each team. मतलब दोनों को मिला के he has invested 10,000 rupees. Of the amount he bets on England, मतलब यहाँ पे base value क्या हो गया? जो भी amount वो England में invest किया था वो हमारा base value हो जाएगा. ठीक है? So of the amount that he bets on England, he stands to gain 36%. I repeat, यहाँ का base value the amount spent on England में होगा. तो अगर England जीतता है तो उसको 36% of that value मिलता है. ठीक है? If England wins and loses 40% if England is defeated. 40% of what, guys? Again 40% of the money invested on England. ठीक है? तो अगर इंग्लैंड पे उसने 100x डाला, अगर इंग्लैंड जीतता है तो उसको 36x मिलेगा, राइट? और अगर इंग्लैंड हारता है then he loses 40x from his money. Okay? Now, as for the amount he bets on India, okay? तो अब ये हमारा बेस वैल्यू हो जाता है यहाँ पे. If India wins, he gains 82%, and if India loses, he loses 32%. ठीक है? वेरी सिंपल. दो डिफरेंट बेस वैल्यूज है, दोनों को मिला के 10,000 रुपीज का इन्वेस्टमेंट हुआ है. अब देखते हैं क्वेश्चन क्या पूछ रहा है हमसे, राइट? अब क्वेश्चन हमसे पूछ रहा है, हाउ मच मनी शुड ही बेट ऑन इंग्लैंड टू एंश्योर दैट ही मेक्स द सेम प्रॉफिट irrespective of the outcome of the match. And और भी इंफॉर्मेशन दिया हुआ है, one of these two teams definitely wins the match. So very interesting question. मतलब टाई तो हो नहीं सकता, या तो इंग्लैंड जीतेगा या तो इंडिया जीतेगा. अब क्वेश्चन हमको ये बता रहा है कि irrespective of whoever wins, the profit that he is making is same. राइट? तो हमको दो केस यहां पे अज्यूम करना पड़ेगा. लेट्स स्टार्ट विद दैट लॉजिक. नाउ हमेशा याद रखना, you will assume the value as 100x to whatever is asked in the question. What is asked in the question? How much money should he bet on England? तो जो भी हमसे क्वेश्चन में पूछा जा रहा है, या तो आप उसका वैल्यू x लोगे या आप उसका वैल्यू 100x अज्यूम करोगे. क्लियर? राइट? तो लेट्स लुक एट दिस. सो लेट मी अज्यूम दैट इंग्लैंड में जो उसका पैसा इन्वेस्टेड था वो 100x. और लेट मी स्टार्ट दिस वे. उसका टोटल अमाउंट 10,000 इन्वेस्टेड था. अब सिंस हमसे इंग्लैंड में पूछा जा रहा है, लेट मी अज्यूम इंग्लैंड का जो पैसा इन्वेस्टेड था वो 100x था. अब 10,000 में से 100x अगर इन्वेस्टमेंट हो गया तो उसके पास बचेगा कितना? 10,000 माइनस 100x. ठीक है? अब हमसे पूछा जा रहा है कि अगर इंग्लैंड जीतता है देन ही स्टैंड्स टू गेन 36x, और अगर इंग्लैंड हारता है देन ही लूजेस 40x. 36% of 100x is 36x, 40% of 100x is 40x. ठीक है? अब जो इंडिया में अमाउंट बेट किया था, अगर इंडिया जीतता है देन ही गेट्स 82% ऑफ दिस वैल्यू. 82% ऑफ दिस बिकम्स 8,200 माइनस 82x. और अगर इंडिया हारता है तो he loses 32% of the money. So 32% of this value becomes 3200 minus 32x. तो ये टेबल पहले बनाना बहुत जरूरी है so that you understand कि वो कितना जीत रहा है कितना हार रहा है. अब आते हैं क्वेश्चन स्टेटमेंट में. Doesn't matter India wins or England wins, he has to make the same profit. ठीक है, तो let's take case 1. अब केस 1 ऐसा होगा, let me assume England is winning. अगर इंग्लैंड विन कर रहा है देन प्लीज अंडरस्टैंड उस मैच में इंडिया लूज कर रहा है क्योंकि उसने दोनों टीम्स में सम पैसा इन्वेस्टमेंट हुआ है, राइट? तो अगर इंग्लैंड विन कर रहा है तो उसको पैसा जो मिलेगा वो 36x मिलेगा, माइनस अगर इंडिया लूज करता है ही इज लूजिंग दिस अमाउंट. ओके, सो दिस बिकम्स माइनस 3200 minus 32x. So this is the amount that he makes if England is winning this match. ठीक है? Similarly, the second case would be is if India is winning the match, that means England is losing the match. Clear? So if India is winning the match, he stands to get 8200 minus 82x, and from here, if England is losing, he loses 40x from the scenario. Now these two amounts should be equal. Clear guys? अब यहां से हमको x का वैल्यू मिल जाएगा, हमको 100x का वैल्यू चाहिए. सिंपल सा फंडा है. Let's solve this. So if I open my brackets, ये 3200 तो माइनस रहेगा, माइनस इंटू माइनस प्लस हो जाएगा, तो 36 प्लस 32 will give you 68x minus 3200 is equal to, this is 8200 minus of 122x. अब 122 को हम लेफ्ट हैंड साइड लेकर आते हैं तो हो जाएगा प्लस 122, 122 प्लस 68 विल गिव यू 190, तो हमको मिलेगा 190x का जो वैल्यू है 8200 प्लस 3200, मतलब इसका वैल्यू हो जाएगा 11400. अगर 190x का वैल्यू 11400 है, हमको चाहिए 100x का वैल्यू. So let us directly calculate the value of 100x. I repeat, assume that is equal to k, divide both of them and you get your final answer. So we should know that 19 6 is 114. So 19 into 6 is 114. So this is 600, or when you cross multiply, the value of k is equal to 6000 and this becomes your final answer. So very beautiful question. Again base दोनों का अलग अलग था, परसेंटेज वैल्यूज अलग अलग थे, तो वी हैड टू चेक कि यार किस वैल्यू को कौन सा बेस है. जैसे अगर ये बेस वैल्यू है तो ये परसेंटेज इस पे कैलकुलेट होगा, ये परसेंटेज इस पे कैलकुलेट होगा. दिस विल बी कैलकुलेटेड हियर. दिस इज द मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट क्रक्स दैट irrespective of any team winning the match, he is making the same profit. Right? So very interesting question to look at, guys. I hope you are able to understand. Right? So please let me know how are you finding the class. By the end of the class, please drop in a comment stating how did you like the class. At the same time, if you want us to cover some other topics of your choice, you can also mention them. We'll definitely record those videos so that it helps you to prepare for CAT. Clear? Right? So let's move to the next question, guys. अब अगला question solve करते हैं. This is again a very interesting question. Now this question says that after the birth of identical twins, before I proceed, pause, solve on your own. Once you are done, come back to the video. Okay, let's start. So after the birth of identical twins, the percentage of girl grandchildren of Grandpa John will be either 33.33% or 44.44%. Now these two values are very important. As I told you, fraction और percentage conversion हमको आना बहुत जरूरी है. So 33.33% का fraction कितना होता है यार? 33.33% का fraction होता है 1/3. ठीक है? 44.44% का fraction कितना होता है? 44.44% का fraction होता है 4/9. 1/9 is 11.11. A multiple of 11 repeating after decimal is 1/9. So 44.44 becomes 4/9. तो 1/3 या 4/9 वैल्यू किसका है? The percentage of girl grandchildren. मतलब it's telling me that Grandpa John had some male grandchildren, some female grandchildren. Okay, so let me assume the male grandchildren were M and the female grandchildren were F. After the birth of identical twins, now those identical twins can be either two boys or two girls. ठीक है? तो अगर हम इनिशियल केस में लेते हैं तो अगर दोनों बॉयज हुए तो m+2 हो जाएगा नंबर ऑफ मेल्स, f हो जाएगा नंबर ऑफ फीमेल्स। और अगर वो दो ग्रैंड चिल्ड्रन फीमेल हुए तो नंबर ऑफ मेल्स विल बी m, नंबर ऑफ फीमेल्स विल बी f+2। अब हमको बताया जा रहा है कि फीमेल ग्रैंड चिल्ड्रन का परसेंटेज इज आइदर 33.33 और 44.44। तो अगर हम इन दोनों को देखें तो यहां पे फीमेल ग्रैंड चिल्ड्रन है f, बट यहां पे फीमेल ग्रैंड चिल्ड्रन है f+2। सो ऑब्वियसली इस केस में फीमेल ग्रैंड चिल्ड्रन का परसेंटेज होगा 33.33%, इस केस में फीमेल ग्रैंड चिल्ड्रन का परसेंटेज हो जाएगा 44.44, क्योंकि टोटल दोनों केस में सेम है। द टोटल नंबर ऑफ चिल्ड्रन इज मेल प्लस फीमेल प्लस 2। आर गेटिंग द पॉइंट गाइस, राइट? तो हमको इन दोनों को इक्वेट करना है। अगर हम फ्रैक्शन से खेलते हैं देन वी नीड टू अंडरस्टैंड नंबर ऑफ फीमेल चिल्ड्रन डिवाइडेड बाय टोटल नंबर ऑफ चिल्ड्रन। टोटल नंबर ऑफ चिल्ड्रन क्या हो जाएगा? m+f+2। ये फ्रैक्शन जो है ये 1/3 हो जाएगा। तो अगर मैं इसको क्रॉस मल्टीप्लाई करता हूं तो यहां पे हमको मिलेगा 3f इज इक्वल टू m+f+2, और वी हैव फ्रॉम हियर वी गेट 2f इज इक्वल टू m+2। ठीक है। अब दूसरे केस में नंबर ऑफ फीमेल चिल्ड्रन हो जाएंगे f+2 डिवाइडेड बाय टोटल चिल्ड्रन होंगे m+f+2 एंड दिस फ्रैक्शन बिकम्स 4/9। अगर हम इसको सॉल्व करते हैं तो हमको क्या मिलेगा? 4f सॉरी वी विल गेट 9f + 18 इज इक्वल टू 4m + 4f + 8, और हमको मिलेगा 5f इज इक्वल टू 4m, ये +8 है, ये -18 हो जाएगा, तो मतलब -10 हो जाएगा। तो हमारे पास 2 इक्वेशंस है, हमारे पास 2 वेरिएबल्स, आई कैन गेट द वैल्यू ऑफ m+f, राइट? एंड दैट इज व्हाट इज आस्क्ड इन द क्वेश्चन, हाउ मेनी ग्रैंड चिल्ड्रन दैट ग्रैंडपा जॉन हैड एक्सक्लूडिंग द ट्विंस। मतलब हमको जो पूछा गया है उसका जो वैल्यू हमसे पूछा गया है वो है m+f का वैल्यू। ठीक है, तो इजी पार्ट ये रहेगा कि अगर हम m को कैंसिल करेंगे तो लेट्स मल्टीप्लाई दिस इक्वेशन बाय 4। 4 2 जा 8, माइनस करते हैं तो 4 2 जा 8 माइनस 5 विल बी 3f, 4m कैंसिल हो जाएगा, 8 + 10 हो जाएगा 18, या f हो जाएगा 6। तो रिमेंबर हमको f का जो वैल्यू है वो 6 मिल गया। अब लेट्स रिप्लेस f का वैल्यू इन द फर्स्ट इक्वेशन। 2 6 जा 12, 12 is equal to m+2, so we have 12 is equal to m+2, or the value of m is equal to 12 minus 2, that is 10. Clear guys? So m का वैल्यू हो गया 10, f का वैल्यू हो गया 6, हमसे पूछा गया था वैल्यू ऑफ m plus f, so therefore m plus f का वैल्यू कितना हो जाएगा? 16 हो जाएगा, and that becomes our required answer. So again a beautiful question to understand कि हमको पहले ये जानना है कि 33.33% किस केस में होगा एंड 44.44% किस केस में होगा। उसके हिसाब से अगर हम फ्रैक्शन अप्लाई करते हैं तो हमारा आंसर इजीली आ जाएगा, राइट? सो very good 3 questions that we have solved so far. I hope you're liking the quality of the questions. Let's move to the next question and solve this. Now, in a survey, it was found that 80% of people like tea, 70% of people like coffee. What is the ratio of maximum to minimum number of people who like both tea and coffee? So, again, a very beautiful question on Venn diagrams and a two-set Venn diagram. तो हमको ये इसका बेसिक्स बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट होता है कि मैक्सिमम वैल्यू ऑफ, अगर ये मैक्स होता है टू सेट वेन डायग्राम में, तो ये वैल्यू आपका मिनिमम हो जाएगा और ये वैल्यू आपका मिनिमम हो जाएगा, एंड जो नन ऑफ बोथ है वो भी आपका मैक्सिमम हो जाएगा। दिस इज विद रिस्पेक्ट टू टू सेट वेन डायग्राम। हमेशा याद रखना, इंटरसेक्शन ऑफ टू अगर मैक्सिमम होता है तो एग्जैक्टली वन मिनिमम होगा एंड नन भी मैक्सिमम होगा। अब हम इसको मैक्सिमम कैसे अज्यूम करेंगे? वी विल अज्यूम टू सच एन एक्सटेंट that the minimum value of any one of them becomes 0 or none of them becomes negative. Let me give you with an example. Suppose ये x लेते हैं यार, तो ये हो जाएगा 80 minus x और ये हो जाएगा 70 minus x. Percentage है, let's assume total is 100, should not be a problem, right? अब हमको x को इतना मैक्सिमम में हम लेके जा सकते हैं ताकि नन ऑफ द वैल्यूज नेगेटिव हो, राइट? तो अगर मैं 80 लेके जाता हूं तो ये 0 हो जाएगा, लेकिन ये नेगेटिव हो जाएगा, तो 80 पॉसिबल नहीं होगा, राइट? देयरफॉर इफ यू अंडरस्टैंड द मैक्सिमम वैल्यू ऑफ x दैट वी विल बी टेकिंग इज 70, सो दैट दिस बिकम्स 0 एंड दिस रिमेन्स ओनली 10. सो द मैक्सिमम वैल्यू ऑफ x, आई रिपीट, विल बी 70. तो 70 माइनस x ये आपका 0% हो जाएगा. 80 माइनस 70 विल बी 10%. तो A यूनियन B कितना हुआ गाइस? 10 प्लस 70 प्लस 0, A यूनियन B होता है 80%. ठीक है, 80% अगर A यूनियन B हो गया तो नन ऑफ देम कितना होगा? नन ऑफ देम आपका हो जाएगा 20%. नाउ 70% ऑफ व्हाट? 70% ऑफ टोटल नंबर ऑफ स्टूडेंट्स. ठीक है, नाउ दिस इज मैक्सिमा का 2 सेट वेन डायग्राम. अब मिनिमा हम कैसे करेंगे? सेम उसका ऑपोजिट ही होगा ना. अगर हम A इंटरसेक्शन B को मिनिमम लेंगे तो ये मैक्सिमम, अंडरस्टैंड कर लो यार, अगर ये x है तो ये 80 माइनस x है, ये 70 माइनस x है. सो इफ आई एम मिनिमाइजिंग x, then 80 minus a smaller value, that means this value will automatically become maximum, this value will also become maximum, and none of the above will again become minimum. अब हमेशा याद रखना, अगर एक्सेस डेटा है, अगर एक्सेस डेटा है, व्हाट इज एक्सेस डेटा? n of a प्लस n of b माइनस n of a इंटरसेक्शन b, a यूनियन b. ठीक है, तो हम इस केस में क्या कर रहे हैं? हम इसको अज्यूम कर रहे हैं 0. अगर हम इसको अज्यूम कर रहे हैं 0 तो A यूनियन B कितना होता है? 100%. अगर A यूनियन B 100% होता है एंड n ऑफ A 80% है, n ऑफ B 70% है, तो 80% प्लस 70% कितना होता है? 150%. तो 150% माइनस 100% मतलब एक्सेस डेटा जो है 50% का है. सो प्लीज अंडरस्टैंड, अगर एक्सेस डेटा होता है देन द मिनिमम वैल्यू ऑफ x विल बी द excess data, क्योंकि we have to make sure that 100% is definitely distributed, right? तो हम इसको 50% दे रहे हैं, ये 0% हो गया, ये आपका 30% आ गया एंड ये आपका 20% आ गया. So this becomes a second Venn diagram which is a two set Venn diagram and the minimum value of A intersection B. Now the question is asking you the ratio between the maximum and minimum, that is 70% of total divided by 50% of total. Total दोनों में same है, that means the ratio here becomes 7:5 and that becomes your final answer guys. Clear? तो अगर इसका basics proper नहीं है तो please go back, revise the basics of a two set Venn diagram, maximum minima कैसे लेते हैं and then come back and solve this. Clear guys? So remember, excess data is a very interesting concept in Venn diagrams, especially in quant questions, जहां पे कि सिंगल क्वेश्चंस आता है, वहां पे excess data का यूसेज बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट हो जाता है. ठीक है, let's move forward. Now this question, the population of a village in 2012 is x. ठीक है, so 2012 का population x है. Let me write 2012. The population growth rate is y% every year. Okay, great. Find the ratio of population in the year 2013 is to 2011. Is given to us. Find the value of y. ठीक है, अब simple growth rate मतलब percentage increase. As I told you, whenever percentage increase or percentage decrease is given, all that we have to do is use multiplying factor. So how do we come to this? So population of 2011 is the initial value into multiplying factor. If the growth rate is y%, my multiplying factor becomes 100 plus y by 100. So into 100 plus y by 100 should be equal to the final value. Remember, initial value into multiplying factor is equal to final value. So 2011 पे y% अगर ग्रो हुआ तो हमको पॉपुलेशन 2012 का मिलेगा एंड 2012 में पॉपुलेशन कितना था? x था. Clear? So from here I can say that population in 2011 is equal to 100x divided by 100 plus y. अब जो 2012 का पॉपुलेशन था उस पे y% इंक्रीज करेंगे तो 2013 का पॉपुलेशन मिलेगा, राइट? सो पॉपुलेशन ऑफ 2013 will be nothing but x into 100 plus y divided by 100. क्लियर गाइस? अब हमको बताया गया कि इन दोनों का रेशियो जो है वो x is to 100 होल स्क्वायर है. तो लेट्स कैलकुलेट द रेशियो ऑफ दीज टू फर्स्ट. If I take the ratio of these two, so this x and this x gets cancelled, and when I cross multiply, then what do I get? I get population of 2013 divided by population of 2011 जो है वो हो जाएगा 100 plus y divided by 100 का होल स्क्वायर. I repeat, 100 plus y cross multiply हो गया, becomes 100 plus y whole square. 100 cross multiply हो गया, that becomes 100 square, and this given to us is equal to x by 100 whole square. अगर दोनों तरफ स्क्वायर्स है तो हम स्क्वायर को कैंसिल कर सकते हैं. वंस वी कैंसिल स्क्वायर्स 100 और 100 भी कैंसिल हो जाएगा. तो हमारे पास क्या बचा? हमारे पास जो बचा 100 plus y is equal to x, और the value of y is equal to, this becomes our final answer. So what is the value of y? The value of y is going to be x minus 100, and x minus 100 is there in the options, and therefore my answer becomes option D. Clear guys? I hope you are able to understand the questions, right? I repeat once again, pause, solve on your own, and then come back. Clear? So what is the concept that we are learning here? We are learning multiplying factor, and multiplying factor is nothing but 100 plus x percentage by 100, or 100 minus x percentage by 100, or 1 plus the fraction, 1 minus the fraction. How do I use it? Initial value into multiplying factor is equal to final value. Clear guys? Let's move to the next question here. Now in a debate competition, two participants were vying for the title of best speaker. 15% of the audience, okay, 15% of the audience did not submit their votes. Okay, so 15% of the audience did not submit their votes, and 41 votes were invalid. The minute I read this statement, which model comes to your mind? सीधा दिमाग में वोट्स का मॉडल आ जाना चाहिए. अब वोट्स के मॉडल में क्या क्या कॉन्सेप्ट थे गाइस? एक तो टोटल नंबर ऑफ वोटर्स थे, ठीक है. टोटल नंबर ऑफ वोटर्स में से कुछ लोग वोट नहीं करेंगे, कुछ लोग वोट करेंगे. सो वी हैव सम पीपल हु वोट and some people who do not vote. अब जो लोग वोट करते हैं उसमें से कुछ वोट्स इनवैलिड भी होते हैं. सो देयरफॉर सम वोट्स आर इनवैलिड वोट्स एंड सम वोट्स आर वैलिड वोट्स. एंड ये जो वैलिड वोट्स हैं वो कंटेस्टेंट्स में डिवाइड होते हैं. जनरली एग्जाम्स में आपको दो कंटेस्टेंट दिया जाता है. सो दैट इज डिवाइडेड इनटू कंटेस्टेंट्स, एंड देन the margin is always the number of votes achieved by the winner minus the number of votes achieved by the loser is called the margin. Clear? तो ये मॉडल आपके दिमाग में राइट अवे आ जाना चाहिए. एंड जनरली इन दिस मॉडल, डिपेंडिंग ऑन द क्वेश्चंस, वी जनरली स्टार्ट विद 100x and then we keep on moving forward. ठीक है? So let's continue with this question. Now this question says 15% did not vote. So let me assume that 100x were there. इसमें से 15x did not vote, 15%. So how many people voted? So 85x people voted. Now voted में भी invalid votes होते हैं और valid votes होते हैं. अब 41 votes पर invalid. अगर 85x में से 41 votes invalid हो गए तो number of votes which are valid becomes 85x minus 41. ठीक है? तो ये हमारे नंबर ऑफ वैलिड वोट्स हो गए. अब नंबर ऑफ वैलिड वोट्स इज डिवाइडेड इनटू विनर एंड लूजर. लेट्स सी. इफ द विनिंग पार्टिसिपेंट रिसीव्ड 314 वोट्स मोर देन द अदर, okay, the winning participant, if the winning participant obtained 45% of total audience था 100x, तो विनर को 45x मिला. Clear? Right? If winner got 45x out of 85x minus 41, so what is the remaining votes to the loser? That is 85x minus 41 minus 45x. These are the number of votes the loser got. And now the gap between these two is 314. ठीक है? तो इन दोनों का गैप हम निकाल लेते हैं. That is 45x minus 85x माइनस 45x होता है 40x, तो हम ब्रैकेट लगाते हैं 40x माइनस 41, इन दोनों का जो गैप है वो है 340. सो लेट्स सिंप्लीफाई, तो हमारा वैल्यू जो हो जाएगा वो 5x ये प्लस 41 हो जाएगा is equal to 314, और we have 5x is equal to 273. अब again as I always tell, do not calculate unless and until it is your last step. ठीक है, तो अभी हमसे क्या पूछा गया, हमसे पूछा गया how many votes did the each participant received, मतलब एक का वैल्यू 45x है, दूसरे का वैल्यू 314 वोट्स लेस देन दिस गाय है. ठीक है, सो अगर 5x का वैल्यू 273 है तो 45x का वैल्यू कितना मिलेगा, 45x का वैल्यू आई गेट बाय मल्टीप्लाइंग बाय 9 ऑन माय लेफ्ट हैंड साइड, सो आई मल्टीप्लाई माय राइट हैंड साइड आल्सो बाय 9, so 9 3s are 27, 7 I carry 2, 63 plus 2 is 65 and this is 2457. and if you look at the options 2457 एक ही ऑप्शन में है. अब इसमें से अगर मैं 314 सब्ट्रैक्ट करता हूं तो मुझे 2143 आएगा, which means this is going to be my required answer. Remember the difference between winner and loser is 314 votes. Clear? So again a very interesting concept on votes. I hope you should be understanding the terminologies, total, number of people who voted, number of people who did not vote. From the people who voted there will be valid votes, invalid votes, and the valid votes are distributed between the winner and the loser. Clear? So I hope this model is very clear, guys. Let's move to the next question. Now this question is again a very simple question. Let's look at this question here. Now this question says if the monthly income of Gerard increased by 30% while his expenditure remained same and his savings increased by 120%. Okay, then his monthly expenditure is approximately what percentage of his new income? Now the minute I read this, I have income, I have expenditure, and the question is talking about savings. Clear? Right? And we should also know that income minus expenditure is savings. अब ना ही हमको इनकम का वैल्यू दिया हुआ है ना ही हमको एक्सपेंडिचर का वैल्यू दिया हुआ है, तो हम क्या कर सकते हैं, हम एग्जिस्टिंग इनकम को 100x अज्यूम कर लेते हैं, एक्सपेंडिचर को 100y अज्यूम कर लेते हैं, और हमको पता है कि इनकम माइनस एक्सपेंडिचर जो है सेविंग्स होता है, तो इसके हिसाब से हमारी जो सेविंग्स है वो 100 टाइम्स ऑफ x माइनस वाई हो गई. अब हमको बताया गया है कि मंथली इनकम इंक्रीज बाय 30%. अगर 30% से ये इंक्रीज हुआ तो 100x का वैल्यू कितना हो गया अभी 130x. एक्सपेंडिचर रिमेन सेम बताया गया है, तो एक्सपेंडिचर जो है इसका 100y हो जाएगा, तो जो सेविंग्स है वो हो गई 130x माइनस 100y. तो अब हम इक्वेट किससे करेंगे? इफ यू ऑब्जर्व हमने इस स्टेटमेंट को तो यूज ही नहीं किया था. ठीक है, तो सेविंग्स इंक्रीज्ड बाय 120%. 120% ऑफ व्हाट? 120% ऑफ एग्जिस्टिंग सेविंग्स. And with an increase of 120%, what is the multiplying factor, guys? 100 plus 120 by 100, that is 220 by 100. मतलब multiplying factor into initial value is 100 times of x minus y is equal to the final value, and the final value is 130x minus 100y. Clear? So the new savings according to the question is equal to new savings according to our assumptions. So let's simplify this. 100 gets cancelled, 0 0 gets cancelled, यहाँ से 10 cancel हो जाएगा. So what do we get here? We have 22x minus 22y is equal to 13x minus 10y. अब 22 minus 13 हो जाएगा 9x, 10y plus 22y हो जाएगा 12y. This is 3 3s are 3 4s are. So we have x by y is equal to 4 by 3. हमको ये इंफॉर्मेशन मिला. अब हमसे क्या पूछा गया है? His monthly expenditure. जब हमको रेशियो 4:3 का मिल गया, so as per the concepts of ratios, let me assume x is equal to 4k and y is equal to 3k. ठीक है, तो अब हमसे पूछा जा रहा है मंथली एक्सपेंडिचर है 100y, दैट इज 100 इंटू 3k. So monthly expenditure is 300k. Is what percentage of, okay, of what percentage of new income? New income is 130x, that is 130 into 4. 130 into 4 हो जाएगा 520k. So k cancels, 0 0 gets cancels. This is 425s and this is again 413s. So we have a total value called 750 by 13. So 13 5s हो गया 65. हमारे पास बचा 100. We should know that 13 7s is 91. फिर बचा 90, which is again approximately 7. So therefore your answer here becomes 57.7% should be your required answer. Clear guys? So हमारा जो मोटिव रहता है, प्लीज मेक श्योर दैट क्वेश्चन में हिंट्स दिए गए हैं, यू हैव टू पिक द हिंट्स एंड यू हैव टू नो हाउ टू यूज द हिंट्स. Once you're able to use the hints effectively, there's no question on this planet on arithmetic that you cannot solve. Clear guys? Let's move to the next question here. So I repeat once again, pause the video, solve on your own and then come back and look at the solutions. Okay, let's solve this now. So we are told that X, Y and Z participate in a pizza eating contest. X ate 18 pizzas more than Z. And as I told you, whenever I am given more or less or difference, it is always the subtraction of the two. So X minus Z is equal to 18. And I know that X ate more. So X minus Z is equal to 18. X also ate 50% more pizzas than Y. Great. So let's start from here. 50% more pizzas than Y. Let's say Y ate 100A pizzas. What is 50% of 100A? That is 50A. So X ate 50A more than 100A. That means X ate 150A. अब हमको X और Z का रिलेशनशिप दे दिया है ना. सो कैन आई से यहां पे Z का वैल्यू जो है X माइनस 18 हो जाएगा. क्लियर? तो यहां पे हमको पता है दैट Z का वैल्यू जो है वो X का वैल्यू माइनस 18 हो जाएगा. Clear? We have this much of information so far. Now additionally, Y ate 5 percentage points more than Z. Remember what is percentage points? The percentage of pizzas eaten by Y minus the percentage of pizzas eaten by Z is equal to 5. Not 5%, is equal to 5. So percentage points is nothing but the difference between the percentages of two values. Clear? So if I apply that, हमारा job easy हो जाएगा. What percentage of pizzas did Y eat? So Y ate 100A divided by total pizzas. 150 plus 150 हो गया 300, 400. तो ये हो जाएगा आपका 400A minus 18 into 100 is the percentage of pizzas eaten by Y. What is the percentage of pizzas eaten by Z? The number of pizzas eaten by Z divided by total number of pizzas into 100, and this value is equal to 5. So I have an into 100 here, into 100 here. I can take 100 common, right? So let me take 100 common. मैं इन दोनों को erase कर देता हूँ और ये मेरा जो value है वो 100 का common हो गया. 5 ones are 520s. Clear? अब डिनोमिनेटर तो सेम है दोनों का, तो डिनोमिनेटर जो आपका आ जाएगा वो 400A माइनस 18 का हो जाएगा. न्यूमरेटर जो है वो हो जाएगा 100A माइनस ऑफ 150A माइनस 18. दिस इनटू 20 इज इक्वल टू 1. क्लियर? तो यहां का वैल्यू क्या हो जाएगा? प्लस 18 एंड माइनस 50 हो जाएगा इनटू 20. So plus 18 into 20 will become, or let me write it here, simplify that. So I have numerator called plus 18 minus 50A divided by 400A minus 18 this whole thing into 20 is equal to 1. बेस्ट थिंग है क्रॉस मल्टीप्लाई कर लेते हैं. तो जब ये मल्टीप्लाई होगा तो ये हो जाएगा 360 माइनस 1000A इज इक्वल टू 400A माइनस 18 या 318 इज इक्वल टू 1400. अब हमसे क्या पूछा गया है? फाइंड द टोटल नंबर ऑफ पिज्जाज. टोटल नंबर ऑफ पिज्जाज इज 400A माइनस 18. तो पहले 400A का वैल्यू निकालते हैं. लेट अस अज्यूम दैट 400A का वैल्यू k है. दोनों को डिवाइड कर दो. 0 0 कैंसिल. दिस इज 2 2s are 2 7s are 7. Sorry, this is 378. My bad. 7 5s are 35. 28 4s are. So the value of k is equal to 108. तो 108 जो है वो वैल्यू 400A का है. हमको जो वैल्यू चाहिए 400A माइनस 18 का वैल्यू चाहिए, राइट? सो देयरफॉर हमारा वैल्यू हो जाएगा 108 माइनस 18 एंड देयरफॉर टोटल नंबर ऑफ पिज्जाज जो कंज्यूम्ड है दैट इज 90. So again a very beautiful question on application of percentage points. So remember percentage points का मतलब सिंपल सा होता है कि percentage of y minus percentage of z is equal to 5. How do we calculate percentage of y? The number of pizzas eaten by y divided by total number of pizzas into 100 becomes the percentage of pizzas eaten by y. Similarly, percentage of pizzas eaten by z divided by total number of pizzas into 100 will be percentage of pizzas eaten by z. Percentage of y minus percentage of z is equal to 5 percentage points. So this is how we solve these kind of questions, right? I hope you're able to understand the concept of percentage points here. Let's move to the next question. Now team A has won 50% more members. So team A has 50% more members than team B. So let's write this here. Team A and let us go with team B. So if team A has 100x members, then team A will have 50% more. 50% more मतलब 50x होता है. So therefore team A will have 150x. ठीक है? Now the number of engineers in team A is equal to number of managers in team B. मतलब इनको हम 2 parts में divide कर रहे हैं, which is engineers and managers. और यहाँ पे भी कुछ engineers हैं और कुछ managers हैं. So number of engineers in team A is equal to number of managers in team B. ठीक है? तो अगर 150x में से A engineers हुए तो managers कितने हुए? 150x minus A. अगर 100x में से A managers हुए तो engineers कितने हुए? 100x minus A. अब हमसे बताया गया है that the percentage of engineers in both the teams is same. तो यहां का percentage of engineers कैसे होगा? Number of engineers divided by total number of people into 100 is the percentage of engineers in A. Percentage of engineers in B is the number of engineers in B divided by total number of members into 100 and these two values are equal. तो ये आपका 100 100 कैंसिल हो गया, x x कैंसिल हो गया, this is 3s are, this is 2s are. Let's cross multiply. So what do we get? We get 2a is equal to 300x minus 3a. When I transpose the values तो कितना आ जाएगा हमारे पास? 5a is equal to 300x और we get a by x is equal to 60 by 1. अब जब हमको रेशियो मिला हुआ है then we can assume 60k and 1k. ठीक है? Very interesting question. What percentage of total members are managers? सबसे पहले total members कितने हैं? 150x plus 100x that is 250x. x का वैल्यू k है. So total members, I'm erasing this part, okay? और yeah, let me write it here. So total members is 250k. What percent मतलब multiplied by 100 are managers? अब यहाँ पे managers हैं 150x minus a. x का वैल्यू तो k है तो ये 150k हो गया. a का वैल्यू है 60k. 150k minus 60k is 90k. So number of managers here is 90k. and number of managers here is 60k. So what is 90k plus 60k? That is 150k. So we want to calculate 150k upon 250k multiplied by 100. Clear? So 0 gets cancelled. 25 ones are 25 fours are 15 fours are 60%. So therefore your total percentage of managers as compared to total members is equal to 60%. So again a very beautiful chain rule wala model, right? Remember males, females, literates, illiterates, इसी models में divide होता है. So all those concepts come under this model. So remember, take 100x, calculate and equate the final question statement given to you. Clear? Let's move to the last question. That is a very interesting question which is using mileage and distance and fuel, a lot of things. Let's see. A biker uses, before I proceed guys, pause the video, solve on your own and then come back. ठीक है? तो अब देखते हैं क्या पूछा गया. Biker uses 24% of his fuel to cover first 20% of his journey on a steep uphill. ठीक है? He needs to cover another 25% on the same uphill road. Okay? What should be the minimum percentage increase in the mileage on a flat road so that the biker can complete the entire distance without running out of fuel? Very interesting question. So दो concepts हमको दिया हुआ है कि एक uphill हो रहा है और एक flat road हो रहा है. ठीक है? So the question is asking you that flat road का mileage uphill road से कितना percentage ज़्यादा होना चाहिए? By what percentage should the mileage increase on flat road? Flat road as compared to what? As compared to uphill. ठीक है? So our job is to calculate the mileage here. Our job is to calculate the mileage here. Let's say this is mileage 1 and mileage 2. So our final answer becomes M2 minus M1 by M1 into 100. Percentage change is final value minus initial value by initial value into 100. And what is mileage? Mileage, if you understand, is number of kilometers per liter. That means distance by fuel. ठीक है? अब हमको fuel भी percentage में दिया हुआ है, distance भी percentage में दिया हुआ है. Let's handle this. So let me assume that total distance that he wants to cover is equal to 100x and total fuel that he has in his tank is equal to 100y. ठीक है? अब पहले तो उसने 20x डिस्टेंस है वो 24y लीटर्स ऑफ फ्यूल में उसने खत्म किए. तो अगर रफली हम अज्यूम करते हैं 1x किलोमीटर he has taken 1.2y. Easy conversion. Per kilometer he is taking 1.2 liters of fuel. ठीक है? So another 25% of total distance, another 25. This whole thing is going on uphill. ठीक है? तो अगर 20x किलोमीटर के लिए 24y यूज हुआ तो 25x किलोमीटर के लिए कितना यूज होगा? अगर यू आर कंफ्यूज्ड देन यू कैन यूज द बेसिक यूनिटरी मेथड ऑफ कैलकुलेशन. 20x by 25x is equal to 24y divided by k. तो आपका x कैंसिल हो गया. दिस इज 5 4s 5 5s 4 1s 4 6s. तो वैल्यू ऑफ k कितना हो जाएगा? वैल्यू ऑफ k 30y हो जाएगा. मतलब अपहिल में 45x किलोमीटर्स कवर हुआ एंड फ्यूल जो यूज हुआ वो 54y का यूज हुआ. सो व्हाट इज द माइलेज अपहिल? आई रिपीट, माइलेज इज डिस्टेंस divided by number of liters of fuel. Kilometers per liter is the mileage. ठीक है? So ये uphill का mileage हो गया. अब he says that remaining distance he goes on flat road. तो अगर 100x में से 45x uphill हुआ मतलब 55x flat road में हुआ. And now question says he should not run out of fuel. The total पेट्रोल था उसके पास 100y लीटर्स जिसमें से कि 54 खत्म हो गया. 54 खत्म हो गया तो बचा कितना? 46y. सो वी हैव डिस्टेंस, वी हैव फ्यूल, दैट मींस m2 शुड बी 55x डिवाइडेड बाय 46y. अब इसको हम सिंप्लीफाई कर सकते हैं. दिस कैन बी 9 5s 9 6. And as I told you, it is m2 minus m1 by m1 into 100. So let us do the calculation here. So m2, that is 55 by 46 x by y minus 5 by 6 again x by y divided by 5 by 6 again x by y multiplied by 100. Clear? Right? तो 1 we can see is x by y कॉमन न्यूमरेटर और डिनोमिनेटर में कैंसिल हो जाएगा. अब इसका एलसीएम जो है हम 46 इंटू 6 ले लेते हैं, तो 55 इंटू 6 हो जाएगा. 55 इंटू 6 जो है वो 330 हो जाएगा माइनस 5 इंटू 46. 5 इंटू 46 होता है 5 इंटू 40 200, 5 6 30 मतलब माइनस 230 डिवाइडेड बाई 5 बाई 6 मल्टीप्लाइड बाई 100. तो ये 6 और ये 6 कैंसिल हो गया. न्यूमरेटर इज 100, so 5 ones are 5 20s are. So your final simplified fraction becomes 2000 divided by 46 or 1000 divided by 23. Clear guys? So 23 into 4 जो है वो 92 होता है. ठीक है. So 23 4s are 92. हमारे पास बचा 80. 80 है तो फिर 23 3s are. Clear? 23 3s are 69. So this is 43 point something, and therefore your answer becomes option B. So very interesting question on mileage. I repeat, mileage is total distance upon total fuel, because we always say 10 kilometers per liter is the mileage, right? So remember that. And very beautiful question of uphill and flat road. The question is asking you increase in mileage on the flat road, which means it is always as compared to uphill. Clear guys? So these were like 10 beautifully hand-picked questions on percentages. I hope you liked this session. Please give your feedback in the comments, and I repeat, if you need any other topics to be solved, please mention in the comments so that we will be working on them and we'll get those questions for you so that you can make the most of your time before CAT. Okay guys, so I hope you enjoyed this session. I repeat once again, please subscribe to our channel, like this video and share this video amongst your friends, and I'll see you guys in the next video very soon. Till then, thank you and all the best.